does your son-in-law do in Petersburg?" asked Yegor.
"He was a soldier, my good friend,"
the old man answered in a weak voice.
"He left the service at the same time as you did. He was a soldier, and now, to be sure, he is at Petersburg at a hydropathic establishment. The doctor treats the sick with water, so he, to be sure, is house porter at the doctor's."
"Here it is written down," said the old woman, taking a letter out of her pocket. "We got it from Euphemia, goodness knows when. Maybe they are no longer in this world." Yegor thought a little, and began writing rapidly. "At the present time," he wrote, "since your destiny through your own doing allotted you to the military career, we counsel you to look into the Code of Disciplinary Offences and Fundamental Laws of the War Office, and you will see in that law the civilization of the officials of the War Office." He wrote and kept reading aloud what was written, while Vasilisa considered what she ought to write. How great had been their want the year before, how their corn had not lasted even till Christmas, how they had to sell their cow. She ought to ask for money, ought to write that the old father was often ailing, and would soon no doubt give up his soul to God. But how to express this in words? What must be said first, and what afterwards? "Take note," Yegor went on writing. "In Volume 5 of the Army Regulations, soldier is a common noun, and a proper one. A soldier of the first rank is called a general, and of the last, a private." The old man stirred his lips and said softly,
"It would be all right to have a look at the grandchildren."
"What grandchildren?" asked the old woman, and she looked angrily at him. "Perhaps there are none."
"Well, but perhaps there are. Who knows?"
"And thereby you can judge," Yegor hurried on, "what is the enemy without, and what is the enemy within. The foremost of our enemies within is Bacchus." The pen squeaked, executing upon the paper flourishes like fish hooks. Yegor hastened and read over every line several times. He sat on a stool, sprawling his broad feet under the table, well-fed, bursting with health, with a coarse animal face and a Red Bull neck. He was vulgarity itself, coarse, conceited, invincible, proud of having been born and bred in a pothouse, and Vasilisa quite understood the vulgarity, but could not express it in words, and could only look angrily and suspiciously at Yegor. Her head was beginning to ache, and her thoughts were in confusion from the sound of his voice and his unintelligible words, from the heat and the stuffiness, and she said nothing, and thought nothing, but simply waited for him to finish scribbling. But the old man looked with full confidence. He believed in his old woman who had brought him there, and in Yegor. And when he had mentioned the hydropathic establishment, it could be seen that he believed in the establishment and the healing efficacy of water. Having finished the letter, Yegor got up and read the whole of it through, from the beginning. The old man did not understand, but he nodded his head trustfully.
"That's all right. It is smooth," he said. "God give you health. That's all right."
They laid on the table 3 5-kopeck pieces, and went out of the tavern. The old man looked immovably straight before him, as though he were blind, and perfect trustfulness was written on his